Hi there, I'm Dr. Christine. Welcome to my kitchen. These are my kitchen reflections. I've been prompted to come online. My spirit team and my divine team has been really urging me to come online and talk about something that I think is gonna hopefully be really helpful to a lot of them in terms of what's going on in the world out there. It's chaotic times right now. I think that can really get us into a space where our nervous systems are activated, where we're kind of like, ooh, world's being blown up. There's tons of strife and struggles wherever we go and look. It doesn't matter what country you live in. I think it makes sense to sort of maybe shine a light or that could maybe help you, give you a map to navigate these times and navigate your own nervous system, your own integration, and understanding your place in all of this, because we all have our place in it. I wanted to introduce myself in case you don't know me. Again, my name is Christine, or Dr. Christine. I'm a holistic psychological consultant and consciousness educator. I have a PhD in psychology, and I specialized in spirituality, consciousness, and integrative health. And I'm also an intuitive, both trained and naturally. It's gone through my entire line of family lineage, the psychic and the intuitive abilities. So I am someone who is bridging both the spiritual as well as the psychological or scientific here to combine the two and help you navigate these times. Navigating them, if you're a spiritual person, is a great way. We always need the embodiment, psychological component as well to have sort of a whole framework for this. So I'm hoping that my work and my perspectives can kind of help ground you, help give you a map. As I say to all my coaching clients, really view me as a lighthouse. You're that little ship on the ocean trying to navigate and figuring out where you're going, and I'm really just a little light. I'm shining some light so that you can see, oh, I might want to travel down that path or that path. So view me as that, view all my videos as that. I never claim any whole truth with a capital T. I'm just here with my humble perspectives, my line of research that I've done, but also my intuitive insights from my spirit team and the entities that I'm channeling. My wisdom doesn't come from me as a human, it comes from my higher self and spiritual self. That's what I'm offering at this time to humanity and planet Earth. I'm also a pre-birth experiencer, so if you want to know more about me, I will link all of those videos in the show notes so that you can get a better picture of who I am and if what I'm teaching and what I'm offering to you is something that can enhance your path. With that said, of course, if this video resonates, please send it on to as many people as possible for the benefit of all humanity, so people can be a little bit more at ease with what's happening out there and maybe have some hope and also understand their role in all of this, because we all play a role in this. Essentially, what we're going through is a huge higher consciousness paradigm shift, and it's a shift away from separateness, ego identity, ego thinking, ego power, towards more of a collective understanding of how we understand ourselves as individuals, as well as within the society that is called humanity on this planet Earth. And I'll get more into this. Share this video, subscribe to it if it resonates. I post a lot of videos on higher consciousness. I'm also really into conscious parenting because I'm a young parent of 2 young children, and I talk a lot about conscious relationships, integrating divine masculine with divine feminine, and all that good stuff, bridging psychology with spirituality. So if that is something that you think could enhance your life, please follow me and subscribe. All right, without further ado. Let's get into the meats and potatoes of what's happening. And what's happening right now, we've just gone through and actually coming out of a major Mercury retrograde. I mean, this Mercury retrograde was off the charts, intense. And I've never been affected by Mercury retrogrades before. I mean, I've heard tons of people being like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde. And it really, I mean, never in a way where I was like, okay, that's happening in my life. That might be Mercury retrograde, but I've really been affected. especially my technology recently. I mean, things just haven't been working out. I haven't been able to get together with my colleagues and collaborators to record videos, and then I can't find cables, and it's just been a mess in terms of tech stuff for me. That's just to say that not an astrologer, I dabble in it, and sometimes will use some of that framework in my work. It's just to explain to you that what's happening in the skies is really being reflected on planet Earth here. It's intense energies in the skies, intense Mercury retrograde, intense eclipse that we just had. Eclipses often have an energetic imprint of finally seeing clearly, even if it's painful, finally seeing what things are versus us kind of putting on the pink glasses and hoping that it might be something different. So all of that has been happening. It's been happening in my own life. I've been on a journey of really realigning my own life so that I can fully step into my mission here on planet Earth at this time, which I'll talk more about in different videos, not to talk about myself, but to empower all of you who also feel in alignment with helping this consciousness shift to step into your work and into your healing work and empowerment work and transformation work, because we're really moving into a time where it's all hands on deck and we're all needed in whatever we came here to offer at this time. And there's no coincidence, obviously, that you're here at this time and watching this video. I'm sure my guides are working through the algorithm for sure. That's actually what they're saying to me. With that said, a lot of my teachings and actually my own dissertation, which I've wrote about these times, I've wrote about personal empowerment in times of prophecy in relation to personal empowerment and higher consciousness shift. In these times that we're in currently, it's really important to understand that my personal framework, the way that I see what's happening in the world, is based on Hermetic. Brief overview, it's really that idea that as above, so below, as within, so without. Backtracking to what I had said earlier, we really see that in the skies, with the astrology, Mercury retrograde, eclipse, all of a sudden, all these things are going on in the world, and I'm not political at all. I'm really taking it a level higher than that, because it's not about the politics, it's not about the religion, it's not about the structure that we see, it's really about the energetics. And if you've seen The Matrix, stepping out of the Matrix and seeing it for what it is, for the energetic consciousness blueprint that's going on here. And that's what I'm here to hopefully explain to you in a grounded way so you can understand and navigate. As above, so below. Planets in the heavens, the energies in the heavens are realigning. I've heard that there's black holes coming back online, which is unheard of. All kinds of things happening, and so that's what we see on planet Earth right now. And as within, so without. So with that, a lot of strife and struggle is being activated within us. And before I talk about that, though, I want to talk about what's going on really here. So when I talk about higher consciousness shift or paradigm shift, what do I actually mean? What I mean is really what Dolores Cannon talked about in her books, and I will link those in the show notes as well. One of them is The New Earth, and I believe the other one is called 3 Waves of Volunteers. A lot of us are volunteers here, including myself on planet Earth, helping this shift. And what Dolores Cannon said, and what my own guides are downloading me with as being valid, is that we're currently going through a splitting of the Earth, right? We've entered the Aquarian age, which is this idea that humanity is reorganizing itself, and it's reorganizing itself based on its consciousness. So it's up-leveling consciousness, and we're moving through this shift of three-dimensional, which we've kind of started to leave behind. Three-dimensional thinking, which means really fear-based thinking, and that this body is all there is when we die and there's nothing else, that spirituality is something that we could do or not do, not this idea that we're actually spirit in a body, which is more of a 5-dimensional idea. And it's very much related to me versus you, fear-based thinking, nationalism, I protect myself and my family and nobody else, that kind of consciousness around it's me against the world, and that's it. That's the 3D thinking that we're moving out of, and that we see struggling with the 5-dimensional thinking. I also say the 3D thinking is really the choice of fear, and fear in so many ways of I'm not good enough, of maybe I'm not worthy, and all those things on a more personal level. That 3-dimensional thinking is really battling right now, that 5-dimensional thinking that many people of us are moving into. Planet Earth is being spiritualized in not a religious way, okay? It doesn't mean many people are actually moving out of religion, because a lot of what the structure of what religion is actually based on a lot of fear-based thinking and 3D thinking. people are moving out of that religious thinking and more into conceptual thinking about spirituality, about consciousness, about really what I'm teaching here, which is, spirituality and science are actually not far apart. It's not like spirituality is over here and science is there. They're actually very much combined. And we're going to see and learn more of that down the line as quantum physics gets advanced and as more people are starting to research that and starting to find evidence that's actually true. And Einstein and Tesla and all those good people have already said that that's actually true, that a lot of the spiritual concepts can use different wording around it, different words and different semantics and different language around it. It actually very much is the same thing as what the physicists and the scientists are talking about. Five-dimensional thinking is the choice of love. It's the choice of understanding that we are a spirit and a body, and that this body is one of many bodies we've inhabited through time and space, that our soul is actually eternal, and that we are just here, and I'm getting chills, bumps, so thanks, spirit guides, that our souls are actually eternal and that we're moving from one soul body to the next to the next. And I'm here standing here as a witness to you because that was my pre-birth experience of what I've came in with. I remember my past lives. I remember coming in here and choosing this life very consciously. And I was downloaded with a lot of wisdom. And that's not to put me above anybody else. I'm not better than anybody else. I'm just an example here to say that you probably had exactly the same thing happen to you. You not probably, most certainly have planned your lifetime. You've planned all the lessons throughout your lifetime, which mostly come in relationship. You've planned your purpose here on planet Earth and why you're here at this time, which is actually a very, very exciting time to be here. It's not as doom and gloom as it looks. There's a lot deeper underneath the surface, and it's quite beautiful what's happening here on planet Earth. As long as we can get as many volunteers waking up and on board to help the last big revolution of consciousness on planet Earth. That is why I'm making this video, because I'm hoping it's going to awaken something in you. It's going to awaken you to your divine purpose and your reason for being here. So that's really what's happening. Dolores Cannon said that we are splitting, that the world is splitting in two parts, the 5D and the 3D. And what's happening on the world stage really is giving all of us a choice every day of what do we choose, because we do have free will. We have free will to evolve ourselves. We have free will to grow. And as that, we have free will to make a choice every day. So the choice really, the big choice here is, are you going to choose love or are you going to choose fear? Every day, in your thoughts, in your actions, and how you decide to show up for other people and how you decide to redesign yourself. Are you going to choose love or are you going to choose fear? And if you say you choose fear, then that's a more 3D thinking, and that's not bad. There's no judgment around that, right? I'm not here and nobody else is here to judge anything. The good and the bad, it's all God. It's all God's source. That's a duality thinking as well, good or bad. It's just a choice. And it will mean that because these two Earths are going to split, the old Earth is going to be recycled. It's going to be a completely different planet and dimension at some point. And the new world is also going to be split off. So that's that Aquarian prophecy of heaven on earth. And heaven on earth is really more of a mindset. It's less of a, yes, the world is ending, but it's not ending in physical ways. It's really more ending in terms of consciousness and ending in terms of this era is over, we're done with it, we're burying it, and we're birthing something entirely new. And the question here is, are you here to birth that new? Are you here to show up and to courageously say, yes, I'm here for the new, I'm gonna be in the 5D and operate as a 5-dimensional and then eventually higher dimensional being. At some point, our physical bodies will go away. It's also said, and this is something that Dolores Cannon also says, is that we at one point will go away entirely from eating solids. We're only gonna start drinking because our bodies are not going to need as much food anymore. I've actually started experiencing that in my own body, that I don't need as much food. I really just need to drink a lot to sustain my body and make sure that I get all the nutrients. So that's just a nice aside. Let me go a little bit into my dissertation. And then I'll give you the three big themes that we're all working on so that you can better understand what's going on. So my theory in my dissertation, and I am rewriting this for all of you, what's happening here is the revolution is a quiet revolution, and it's an inward revolution. It's a revolution that happens within each one of us. So each individual human being on this planet at this time is being asked, what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose fear, or are you going to choose love? Very personal question, really within your own life, really within your own relationships, within your own design of your life. Are you going to stay stuck in your limitations, in your fear-based thinking of I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I don't know my purpose, in the cloud of depression that all of this strings along, right? When we don't have our purpose and we think we're not enough, we're clouded by anxiety and depression because we feel stuck. Anxiety is an emotion of feeling stuck, and depression is an emotion of staying in past storylines, staying in the past. Are we going to choose to live from that consciousness and design our life from that? Well, then that is an active choice to continue within the 3D world. That is an active choice to saying, yes, I believe in the nationalism and the hate and the fear and the us versus them. And that is a choice that is not good or bad. It's just your choice. Hopefully, though, you're going to awaken and you're going to see, oh, okay, what I'm meant to do here at this time is to choose love for my own life. And that's not an easy choice. It's a very courageous choice, because when you choose love in your own life, it also means freeing yourself from the limitations. And hey, that looks and sounds so easy when I say it, but hey, I'm going through it myself. It's not easy to free yourself from your own limitations, and doing it not in just a intellectual way, but in an embodied way, is bringing it into our bodies, because we're spirit in a body. We're invited to live spiritually embodied lives, not fragmented, intellectualized, but not bodily life. It's a quiet revolution within ourselves. And so all of us are going through dark nights of the soul. All of us are going through what Campbell coined the hero's journey. All of us are going through strife and struggles, specifically in relationship, because relationships are what will teach us the most about ourselves, our wounding, and our shortcomings. So it's really stepping out of a victim mindset, which again is 3D, and saying, all of these circumstances are just here. I can't do anything about them. They're too hard. This is just what life served me. No, it's not what life served you. It's what you chose in this lifetime to free yourself. And it's your choice to continue buying into it or to free yourself from it. If you've made the decision to free yourself from it, congratulations, because you're actively contributing to the paradigm shift. You're actively contributing to heaven on earth. You're actively contributing to becoming more whole within yourself, to merging back with Godhead or God Source, to uncovering what you have been all along, which is beautiful, loving, unconditional love, God Source energy, and to contributing to helping everybody else on planet Earth awakening to that truth. And from this personal struggle and strife, which really has gone into overdrive, started being in overdrive in 2020, when the COVID pandemic hit. We couldn't bypass anymore, right? It's so easy to bypass and to say, I know I should be doing this work, but far easier to just go out and drink a beer with my friends and like not stay at home and cry my heartache out. It's far easier to choose bypass it than to actually sit in the pain, because that's courageous work. It's painful to sit with our own stuff. It's painful to point our finger back at us and say, nobody else is making these circumstances, only me. I am creating my own life. I'm creator. We are made in the image of creator, which is really a metaphysical principle and true, and it's part of uncovering our truth with a capital T. So that's what we're going through as we're transforming ourselves, and as we're actually stepping into our own power. We are transforming, first and foremost, families, friend circles, then communities, and then on a national and global level, because we're understanding what the choice is, and we're helping others make that choice and awaken, which it means that this is also a very feminine awakening. And it doesn't mean that the feminine, the integrated divine feminine, is going to take over. No, it means that the feminine is marrying an integrated divine masculine principle, and is helping us to understand that leadership can mean that we're all equal and we're all bringing our own unique beauty and gifts and love to this planet, and we don't need to be in competition. Again, a very 3D idea is that idea of I'm not as good as her or him, and what am I contributing? You contribute so much to this world. It's just a matter of uncovering those gifts and then stepping into your full power and contributing them. With that said, what is the work that all of us are called to do at this time within ourselves? It's very personal work. It's 3 main themes that I'm going to talk about more in subsequent videos. Theme number 1 is empowerment. It's the idea of, am I sitting in a victim mindset and giving my power away to other people and hoping other people will rescue me and make my life a beautiful one? Or am I going to take my power back and reclaim it and say the only person who's going to create a wonderful, fulfilling, happy life that's full of joy is me and me alone, and other people can come in and sort of add to it, and they can be wonderful additions to my life, but I am whole within myself. I am in full power of creating whatever I want in my life. And that goes back into manifestation theory and this understanding that we're made in the image of Creator and meant to create whatever we desire if it is aligned with our life's plan and what we came here to do. It gets me into the second main theme that we're working on, which is what's happening right now, which is alignment. We're meant to align with our life's plan and to understand, really step into our own intuition, which again is empowerment. Each of these themes are linked to one another, is stepping into our own truth with a capital T and our own power of understanding that we don't need a psychic to tell us what our life's path is going to look like, or our mom or our dad or our friends or the mayor of the town we live in or whatever else. We know everything. We have everything within us, and we can access that manual for our lives intuitively. And it's nice to get validation. When I work with clients, often I just validate what they already know and empower them to understand and trust that truth. We're here to align with our life's path. And that's really what's been triggered a lot with this specific Mercury retrograde and eclipse. It's getting us into alignment. Going back to 3D and 5D, the idea of choosing love versus fear. These 2 consciousnesses were able to kind of exist, if you imagine them as 2 different sort of planets. They were kind of able to exist next to each other for a while. So that means you were able to be highly conscious and spiritualized and lead a relationship with somebody who's really wounded and unable to take care of themselves, help them out or whatever else. But at this time, Spirit is telling me things are shifting, and they're taking away that ability of the choice of fear and the choice of love, the 3D and the 5D, to sort of exist simultaneously next to each other. And that's what we're seeing in the world. That's why there's things really blowing up on planet Earth right now. It's because the planetary guides are really asking humanity, what are you going to choose at this time? In the same ways you're being asked in your personal life, what are you going to choose? And if you choose that, then align with that. So if you have been in relationships, have been in a marriage that's not aligned, where the other partner is not on the same consciousness, the gap and the disconnect is going to get very crass, because we're meant to move into alignment in our tribal, familiar family settings and systems. We're meant to move into alignment within how we relate to other people in relationships. We're meant to align in our career. So that's why a lot of jobs are falling away for people. People are getting out of the job. Surface level, yes, you can say, well, it's politics and whatever else, but listen, that's just the storyline. It's really underneath the matrix. There's much deeper consciousness currents happening at this point, and it's asking people, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to step into the plan that you've had and bring your gifts into the world to help everybody else? Or are you going to stay stuck in this meaningless corporate job that, yes, gives you lots of security? Then again, you're choosing fear, staying stuck and limited in something that might not fully fulfill you. And at this point, we're really, heaven on earth means being completely fulfilled within ourselves and experiencing joy and happiness on a daily. The third and final theme that they gave me that we're working on right now, each one of us in our personal lives, is coming into integration or wholeness or unity within ourselves. So again, that is that principle as within, so without. So if more and more people become whole within themselves, we can then form that 5D world. We can project that out into the 5D world and create a more whole and integrated and healed society that is more based on the choice of love and comes from a place of unconditional love and compassion. And what does that mean? It means that we're integrating, no matter what gender we inhabit in our body, or or how we perceive ourselves and our identity, that we understand ourselves not just as masculine if we're a man, or feminine if we're a female, or anything in between, whatever our identity is in the gender space, that we understand that we are both masculine and feminine no matter what we chose in our body. You might know that the feminine is the left side and the masculine is the right side, right? And the left hemispheres are also mirroring feminine energy and identity, integrating into male energy and identity. The divine masculine and the divine feminine want to be healed and integrated within ourselves. And as we integrate that within ourselves, we are more capable to step out and have these 5D relationships with other people, whether they be platonic or romantic, because we are no longer trying to merge into something else. We're completely whole within ourselves, and the other is just a nice addition. We're moving from codependency to interdependency with others. Before we can do that, the merging of and the marrying of the divine masculine and divine feminine within ourselves has to happen. And in the same vein, it's also the idea of marrying the intellect with the heart and the gut. So the intellect, the rational mind, the left brain is very much a brain that is based on masculinity. The left brain and the right brain want to be integrated. Left being masculine principle, intellectualizing, rationalizing, action-oriented, but more phallic, more straightforward. And the divine feminine or the feminine thinking is the right brain, is the intuitive, is the compassionate, is the nurturing, is the receptive container. All of us have both of those energies within us, whether they're dormant and we're aware of them or they're completely active, but they want to be brought into balance. In some ways, that balance is mirroring the balance that wants to happen outside in the world. We see a lot of struggle between patriarchy and matriarchy. It's not about one or the other leading again or whatever else or becoming better. We're kind of the pendulum is sort of swinging into balance and saying, hey, what happens if we marry these two principles within ourselves as well as in our society outside of us, in the ways that we relate in our families, our tribes, our friendships, our community. It's really more of a marrying of that. And so that also means, and this is what gets us into spiritual bypassing and all of those things, this idea of spiritual ideas and concepts can be great if they are being embodied as well. So understanding and intellectualizing spiritual concepts want to be integrated with our heart and really bringing them through, because it's not just, oh, detach. It's also, oh, but I feel heartbreak. And before I can detach from that heartbreak, I'm going to have to really feel it in my heart space. I'm going to have to feel that energy somatically in my heart space, and then breathe it out or do other somatic practices to move that energy out of my body before I can detach in a wholesome, integrated way, right? And that's where that idea of bridging the mundane with the spiritual, bridging spirituality with psychology comes in. One or the other is disintegrated. You can do all the therapy you want, something's missing. You can do all the intellectualizing around spiritual concepts, but something's missing. And that's where we see a lot of spiritual bypassing and spiritual narcissism happening, where people say, oh, now I found the holy grail on the spiritual realms and I'm so above everything, but really they're not. They're just bypassing their own pain and woundedness within themselves that's not being addressed. Masculine, feminine, mind, heart, gut wants to be brought into integration. Lastly, on a most visceral level, we want to bring our mind emotions into coherence with our nervous system and our actual heart space. We can understand all we want about certain concepts and emotional ideas, but if our nervous system isn't wired accordingly, if our nervous system isn't aligned with the thoughts and the ideas and the concepts that we would like to manifest, in a concrete example, that means, let's say you want a red car, but you don't really believe that you deserve it. Your nervous system is very much activated as you think about this, because you're thinking, well, how's the money going to come in? And I don't even have enough money to buy that red car. And then we're in misalignment to what we want to create. And so then it's going to take longer to create that. And it's that same thing, bringing our nervous system into integration with our thoughts and our mind. And again, those are just deeper levels and understandings of the same concept, but that's essentially what we're talking about when we talk about integration. I feel like I've talked a lot and I don't want to go on tangents. I'm going to go deeper into all these concepts, but it's just a little bit of an overview of what's happening right now at this time, hopefully giving you a map, hopefully helping you awaken, hopefully empowering you to make the choice of love on a daily basis, even in the smallest ways. When it comes to, what am I going to put in my coffee? Am I going to put in the sugar that's not good for my body and make a fear-based choice over that, or am I going to choose something that's really loving, honey, or whatever else that's really going to take care of my body? Or how am I going to interact with my kids at this moment? What choices am I making? Or how am I going to interact with my spouse, or whatever else? Consciously choosing love on a daily basis is already starting to step into the work that we're all invited and called to do at this moment to move humanity forward. And again, it's not one person that's going to save us all, it's all of us saving ourselves, and with that saving planet Earth, again, as above so below, as within so without. So do your work. I invite you to start looking at your wounding, start stepping out of victim mindset. I encourage you, the perspective of soul planning is a very healing one and very helpful one. And if you need help with any of this, please by all means reach out to me. That's what I help people with in one-on-one sessions and in group settings. So I'll leave that info in the show notes as well. In conclusion, the big question is, what are you going to choose? Love or fear? And if you choose love, ask yourself, what would love do in this moment? With that, thank you for listening to me. Please share this with whoever you think could benefit from this video. Leave a comment. How does this resonate with you? Do you have questions? I want to create community here, so leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about this. And if you have any questions for me, leave those questions in the comments as well. I will address them. Bye for now. Let love be your guide. Mwah.